It really is my privilege to MC this great event that we're celebrating our new daycare center. I'm Jorge Orozco. I'm the CEO here at LAC USC Medical Center. And before we begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and pay respect to the land that we occupy. LA County recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited by the Tonga, Tatavian, Serrano, Kiz, and Chumash people. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, subjugation, relocation, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. And we're grateful to have the opportunity to live and work in these lands. We are dedicated to growing and sustaining relationship with Native people and local tribes and governments. Thank you. Again, thank you for joining us to celebrate the ribbon cutting of our new LAC Child Care Development Center. As the CEO of this medical center, I'm proud to lead an organization that is committed to providing world-class care, promoting equity, diversity, and inclusivity in all that we do. We all know the importance of affordable and high-quality child care for working families, and today marks a major milestone in our mission to provide this to our community. Our new child care center will offer families in our community and our medical staff access to the care and support that they need to succeed. So today we are proud to open this new center, and by offering these services, we hope to make a meaningful impact in the lives and families of those that we support. As a working parent myself, I understand the challenges of balancing work and family life, and I'm confident that this center will really help our staff and our community meet those challenges. It is now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished board supervisor, Hilda Solis. Supervisor Solis has been the driving force behind this project and has been instrumental in ensuring that we provide affordable child care to our staff and community. This new site is a testament to the county's commitment to the surrounding community and our workforce. And it is truly because of our supervisor that this project is being realized. As we know, she comes from a legacy of women who have made lasting changes in LA County and beyond, particularly in the lives of children and families. That is why today we honor her commitment by dedicating the Hilda L. Solis Preschool Classroom to recognize her lasting impact to Los Angeles County's children and families. Bravo, bravo. We also want to recognize and remember Dr. Beatriz Solis, a beloved member of our community who fought throughout her career for equity in this community by dedicating the Dr. Beatriz Solis Toddler Classroom in her memory. And last, but very important, we finally pay respect to the Solis family matriarch, Juana Solis, by dedicating the Juana Solis nap area, the most important area, in her honor. She was a strong advocate for education and a role model for her children. So in closing, I want to express my gratitude to Supervisor Solis, the Solis family, for their unwavering commitment to our community and families. We hope that these dedications serve as a reminder of the lasting impact that they have made on this community, and that this new child care center continues to provide high quality and affordable child care to all those in need. Please welcome Supervisor Solis.
Wow. So much has already been said. If I begin, I think I'm going to start to cry because it's really a beautiful day, and I really want to thank everybody here, and I especially want to thank Jorge Orozco for everything that you've done to help us move this as well. And I'm very, very honored to have a very special friend, nuestra amiga de nuestra comunidad, who has graced us with her presence today, and you will hear from her. And that is our dear friend and the first partner of the state of California, Jennifer Newsom. Please, let's give her a big round of applause. I can't imagine a more thoughtful and committed leader when it comes to early childhood education. And given her schedule, it's extra special to have you here. With respect to the weather and everything going on in the state of California, on behalf of all of our constituents that we represent here in the 1st District and around the county, we want to salute you for being that advocate and for having such a big heart, because your heart is so big and it's always open to us here at LA County, and I will never forget that. So please give her another round of applause, because she is very special. And we also have some other great special individuals here too that represent the County of Los Angeles and the various departments. And I'm very, very happy to see Dr. Christina Galley here with us. Christina, stand up, please. She is, she's my Shiro, somebody who is tenacious, hardworking, a mother herself, and somebody who is so caring. And believe me, I know this wouldn't all have been realized had she not mentioned and said, Supervisor, we can redo the child care center that was trailers down the way and replace it and make a better place for our children. So with your inspiration and hope, Christina, thank you so much for all of that. Please give her a round of applause. We're so lucky to have a very, very talented individual, Mark Pastrella, who directs our Public Works Department. So when these envisioned designs come about, he actually puts the brick and mortar, the contracts and everything together, the remediation of property, and yet intertwine all of that with the natural beauty of what exists around this child care center in particular. And that is, and I think maybe you'll get a chance to talk about that, but that tree there, I think, is it oak tree, is over 100 years old. And it's older than the hospital. And one of the project's design was to make sure that we kept that, because it's part of our culture and our history here. So I want to thank you, Mark Pastrella, and your staff, your team. Please raise your hand if you're with Department of Public Works. I'm sure they're here. The engineers, some of the women who have been involved, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also to Department of Health Services, please raise your hand if you're with the Department of Health Services, because we want to thank you for being on this team as well. I also want to acknowledge the parents of the existing child care center that are here with us as well, and members of our Health Innovation Community Partnership, because without them, this could not have been done. And I also want to give a big shout out to Rosa Soto, who is director of the Wellness Foundation, who also is here with us and a big, big supporter of all of these efforts. Thank you so much, Rosa, and everybody else. We have Dr. Astrid Hager, the Violence Intervention Program, VIP. Thank you for coming. Astrid, I haven't seen you in a while, but she is another Shiro who protects our children, those that really are the most vulnerable. And I thank you for being here. Carla Pletz-Howell, I believe, is here, the executive director of First Five. Thank you for coming. This is your dream as well, to see that we have big spaces for our children. And I know you are doing tremendous things on that board, so we thank you. You know, the early years of our child's development lay the foundation, as you know, for their success and their future. Without that, some will be hopeless and some will be hopeful when they're given the right kind of education and caring and love. According to a Harvard Center report on the developing child, 700 to 1,000 new neural connections form every second in the first few years of a child's life. So just imagine all that input that goes in. To support this critical time in child's early learning and development, it's essential for our families to have access to good quality early education and care. This sets them apart on a path of positive economic and social impacts lasting well into adulthood, and we all know that. I believe every single one of us knows that. Their educational attainment continues to strive when they are given the appropriate skills and sets at an early age. We also will see less involvement in criminal activity of our children when we know they have an education goal, attainment level, and it's there and it's set in place. Higher employment opportunities and higher earnings. Everybody benefits from that. Early care and education benefits the children and families who participate and yields lasting benefits for our society as a whole. These are things that we all have come to know. I wanted to mention that here in Los Angeles County, approximately 650,000 children live under 5 in Los Angeles County, but only 200,000 spaces, are in licensed child care centers and family care. So there is a big gap, no doubt about it. And unfortunately, this is the case right here in Boyle Heights, in this community where, depending on the zip code that you grew up in, between 58 to 76% of eligible children are not receiving adequate child care right here in this hot spot that we are in. There are many reasons for this. And LA County's Office for the Advancement of Early Child Care and Education highlighted some of those challenges, like a shortage of infant and family toddler care overall that is on the decline. And we know that has happened. It's been precipitated by the pandemic as well. We don't see enough people coming into this career, and we have to build those careers. Also, we need to see more ability for transitional kindergarten, and we know that sometimes this is cost prohibitive for a lot of our families. We have a responsibility, I believe, to flip that script when it comes to early childhood education. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. We're putting our foot down and we're saying we have got to do this. With almost $10 million invested in this site, we're opening what will be a nurturing and enriching venue for children between 0 to 6. We anticipate serving about 86 children, increasing that capacity from 72 at the existing site. And most importantly, we're providing this care in a culturally competent and age-appropriate manner, with teachers from the community who are invested in these children's success. The existing childcare site on the campus, as you know, that's down below if you have seen it, was opened in 1988 in response to a nursing shortage at our county hospitals. We've come full circle now because of COVID, where we've seen the shortage of our essential healthcare workers up and down the state. We know that this is partially the case because our own healthcare workers do not have sufficient options for their children when they are also working in our hospitals. That is why in the last 3 years alone, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors invested $20 million in child care vouchers, $10 million to support providers, and over $1 million in financial incentives to over 1,000 early educators annually. And there's more to come. Los Angeles County Child Development Center that you're seeing here is a testament to our families and to our children, our future. They deserve to have quality early care education in this community, and they should not have to travel far to receive it. And that's what this is all about. Instead, we're providing this community with the great option right here in the heart of the East Side, where children in foster care can attend, or families who receive subsidies can send their children in this space of equity and inclusion. And it's critical, I believe, that we're doing it right here on this LAC USC campus, where we have one of our most historic buildings, the iconic General Old Hospital, as well as our new hospital and other treatment centers that are now being designed and devoted for the treatment of our families. And I can't tell you how delighted I was a few months ago, last year, when we had the governor, the state of California, Gavin Newsom, come here and actually tour the old hospital to reimagine what that would look like in terms of providing housing for the unhoused, for the very children that you're going to meet later whose families may be eligible to live in this reimagined building where we can have up to 500 to 700 units of housing for people that deserve it, who work here and who live here. I just want to conclude with that and say that this is one of the most important actions I think that I as a board member can take today. And it's because we dream together, we realize things together, and juntos podemos hacer tanto. And as my friend Dolores Huerta would say often, que sí se puede. And it can happen, and it will happen, and it has happened. So thank you all so much. Muchas gracias. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Supervisor. Now it is my honor to introduce the first partner of California, Ms. Jennifer Siebel Newsom. Ms. Newsom has been a dedicated advocate for children's health and education throughout California. Her efforts in supporting affordable child care programs have been critical to the success of families in our state. We thank you for your leadership and your support, and we are honored to have you here with us today.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon, although I do feel like it's still morning. I feel like I'm still crawling out of bed. Gracias a mi querida amiga supervisora Hilda Solis y su equipo por invitarme a celebrar la inauguración del Centro de Cuidado Infantil del Condado de Los Ángeles. As first partner, I know I'm so grateful to you, Hilda. I was honored, and very, very excited to be here, and that we could make this work. So as first partner, I launched the California for All Kids and California for All Women initiative in 2019 to help advance gender equity and create a state where children are afforded the best start in life. Childcare is at the intersection of both of these initiatives because we know that the majority of American households are dual income households or single parent households, and without affordable, accessible, and reliable childcare, parents cannot work to support their families. Los padres y cuidadores merecen acceso a cuidado infantil de calidad mientras trabajan para proveer para sus familias. Childcare workers and childcare work are the backbone of our economy, yet we have historically rendered the profession invisible. This is no surprise to me because women make up the majority of workers in the care economy, and we have historically devalued all that we associate with women and the feminine. We must overcome this notion that care work and anything associated with women is of less value. That's why, in addition to my office's focus on closing the wage gap and increasing representation of women at the tables of power, we are steadfastly focused on family-friendly workplace policies that ensure that women don't just survive, but thrive in California. Because even in the most equitable households, there are few decisions more pressing, issues that can cause more stress, or conversations families have more frequently than those about childcare. When I think about the critical nature of this issue, not just as a mother of 4 young children, one who's by herself this afternoon until I get home, I'm reminded of a couple I interviewed for my most recent documentary, Fair Play. Lisbeth and Jose were full-time essential working parents with no benefits, to say the least. The hours they work required them to be up and out before dawn, often arriving home late at night when the children were sleeping. Their children, in return, were often left to care for themselves when they weren't in school. Unfortunately, Lisbeth and Jose's story is not unique. The majority of working families in America struggle to find affordable and accessible and safe childcare. And so as a country, we have to commit ourselves to removing the structural obstacles that prevent families from accessing this quality childcare. And that's why I'm so honored to be here and so proud of all of you today. And it's why the governor's continued investments in subsidized childcare and the community school model are so important. Community schools are set up to meet the needs of the families they serve. They have free before, after, and summer school programs that give parents the resources and peace of mind they need to work and support their families while their school-age children, as young as 4 years of age, are well cared for, engaged, and safe. What you are all doing here is so in line with those goals. You built a place for families, a place for community that meets the needs of the community. And a child care center as beautiful as this, that is so focused on movement and play, indoors and outdoors, will be such a magical place for your community's children. So quiero agradecerle otra vez a la supervisora Solis por su trabajo en ese proyecto y por construir un modelo que se puede replicar en todo el estado. And I want to thank you all once again for the myriad of roles you've played in getting us to this celebratory day. The governor and I honestly couldn't be prouder. Con el corazón muy grande y lleno, gracias.
Thank you so much. Now I'm pleased to welcome the Director of Health Services, Dr. Christina Galli. With their extensive experience and expertise, Dr. Galli has been a driving force behind our commitment to providing world-class care for all who come through our doors. And this Child Care Center is no exception to that. So we thank you, Dr. Galli, and for your leadership and dedication to our mission. Dr. Christina Galli.
Thank you so much, Jorge. Good afternoon, everybody. It's wonderful to be here and so exciting to see a beautiful, incredible new child care center here, and especially graced with such beautiful artwork, this mural that's behind me. I want to thank the Supervisor Solis. Thank you for your leadership and your support of the Department of Health Services and of LACUSC Medical Center in particular, and your support of this project. We know you always have our back. We know that you are advocating for the patients that are served here, the people that come here, the community members and the staff that will utilize this child care center, and we're very grateful for your support as well as of that of the entire Board of Supervisors for helping us get this project through. Jennifer Siebel-Newson, thank you so much for coming. It's a pleasure to have you here, to have you see this new site. You are such an advocate for children and for families and for women, and your words, I think, said it all, and we're in awe of your leadership on these important topics, and I think just your presence here says a lot. It says a lot about childcare being important. It says a lot about what we need more of in our communities, particularly in Boyle Heights, but in so many other communities across Los Angeles County. So thank you for being here. I want to thank Mark Pastrella and his entire Public Works team. We partner with Mark a lot. We have lots of ideas within the Department of Health Services, and we work with Public Works a lot, and we have an idea and he makes it happen. So that's pretty much the pattern, and it goes over so well, and your team is always wonderful to work with, and I want to thank you. And I do want to thank Jorge and the entire LACUSC team, many of whom are here today. Bill Walton, who's probably wandering around somewhere. There's a lot of work that goes into these projects on the public health side, but also on the side of the facilities. And so I just want to say thank you for everything that had to happen to make today happen, and to make this child care center be available to the community. I think Supervisor Solis and the first partner, Jennifer Siebel-Newson, said it well and spoke about the incredible need there is for high-quality childcare within our communities. And this facility will serve as a resource both to the people of Boyle Heights in general, but also to many of the staff that work at LACUSC and are looking for safe and affordable and high-quality childcare. And I won't repeat those comments, but I do just want to make a couple of notes on a more personal level. I also am the mother of 4. My oldest turns 15 in 2 weeks, and my youngest is 7. And I have relied on daycare the entire time as a working parent, and as 2 working parents, my husband and I have used daycare centers and childcare facilities for 14 years. And they have been incredible. And it was the right choice for us. We never had a nanny. Thankfully, we could have afforded a nanny, unlike so many people in our society and who are working parents don't have that choice. But for us also, child care centers was the right choice, and it was an incredibly positive experience for my family and for my children and for myself. When my husband and I moved to Los Angeles County 11 years ago, the first thing that we did when we knew we were going to move was, okay, what's the child care center? That's the first thing we had to line up. And we lined up that, believe me, before we lined up a place to live, because everything was going to revolve around where was the child care center. We did it again and again and again with our 4 children. When COVID hit, my youngest was 4. And the thing that was an incredible blessing, among a few other things, throughout COVID was having the availability of that preschool, that child care center for my youngest daughter, who went every day. The child care center never closed. There were a lot of changes in the protocols, and they were going with the flow really well, but it was open and available. And it was a trusted resource for us that brought us through the pandemic and allowed us to continue to go to work and do the jobs that we need to do. And that's what so many healthcare workers needed during the pandemic, was that safe and reliable childcare so that they could go to work taking care of the community and the patients that they were serving. And then also, very personally, my children just loved it. Some of their best friends today are still kids that they went to school with in childcare centers and preschools. They're still friends with some of the teachers that they had in these facilities. Amazing, incredible, mission-driven, high-quality, educationally focused teachers that they got to be with every day, and they loved it. And they would come home happy and fulfilled and safe and having learned so much from their experience. We need more of that. And this is a drop in the bucket, and we need so much more than what this facility can provide, but this is an important representation, it's an important start, and it's a critical resource to so many of the people in this community and to people on this campus in particular. So thank you for being here, thank you for coming here, and your presence, just recognizing the importance that childcare is and the need for more of it in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Galley. I aspire to do speeches without notes like you do. So, one day. Next, please join me in welcoming our Child Care Director, Lisa Wilkin. Ms. Wilkin is the Executive Director of the Child Development Consortium of Los Angeles. Ms. Wilkin is also the Chair of the Los Angeles County Child Care Planning Committee and is a public policy advisor for Every Child California. She's been working with children for 35 years and has a deep passion for providing quality care to all children. And before we started, I just shared that when I was at Rancho Los Amigos, my kids were in daycare there, and she was operating the daycare center there at that time. So we thank you for your expertise and leadership in making this child care center a place where families can trust their children are in good hands. So please join me in welcoming Lisa Wilkin.
Welcome to our new school. We're really happy that you could come and join us for this very exciting celebration. On the day after Labor Day in 1988, the first preschool for Los Angeles County employees welcomed its first children. The building was an old trailer with corrugated siding on the south side of the medical center. It wasn't pretty, but it was functional. It was the teachers and the families with support from the medical center that made this a high-quality program for children and families that is nationally accredited and responsive to the needs of the hospital employee, parents, and surrounding community. Over the last 34 years, we added an infant classroom, and that original trailer was relocated twice, ending up next to the railroad tracks over here on Mission Road. We have had children that we knew as infants and preschoolers return to us to bring their own children. The center has been needing increasingly intensive maintenance, but throughout it all, the children's program has maintained the highest standards of quality and community service. Now, thanks to the leadership of Supervisor Solis, with a little bit of help from the hospital administration and the building crafts guys who've been taking care of all the last minute details, we have a new child care center. Finally, the program is as beautiful on the outside as has always been on the inside, and we are excited to see the children flourish in their new home. Thank you again for coming.
And lastly, I want to invite one of our parents who has been an integral part of our community since 2020 to share a few words with us. Please join us in welcoming Cindy Arias, parent of a child here. Cindy, thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. So I have 2 children, and they're twins. As a Latina, single parent, working full time, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my home. I'm gonna lose the stability for my children. Finally, I was able to find a center that was willing to take me in. I came, I looked around. At first I hesitated because it was a bungalow. But as soon as I came in, I saw the diversity, I saw many races, I saw the love that they had for the children, and I enrolled my kids in. So both Brandon and Joseph have been attending the center since they were 9 months old. Because of their support, I was able to find out that they needed early intervention services. They were diagnosed with global developmental delays at 9 months, but now they are in preschool. They're 3.5. They've been reevaluated, and I'm happy to say that they're above grade level. And now they're scoring at age 5 and 6 years old. So I am very grateful for the staff, for the administrators, for allowing supported services to come into the center and to allowing me to be a working parent and to continue to be able to provide for my family. Lastly, and of course, I want to thank LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis and First Partner Jennifer Newsom to have yet again shown their commitment to our community, to our children, and working families. Thank you very much.
So now, on behalf of LAC USC Medical Center, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to all our distinguished guests, staff, parents, and especially our children. We would now like to invite our children to showcase their talents with a special performance for all our guests. They've been working really, really hard on this, and they're excited to share this with you all. So let's give them a big round of applause. Yay!
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The more together, the more get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
dile que va a presentar you tell her, okay?
Okay.
You tell the lady with the red coat. Tell Miss Solis, we made a necklace for you. Go. And then
She's going to present. Yeah. She's going to present her necklace to Miss Elise.
Miss Elise, I made a necklace for you.
You want to put it on?
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Welcome.
You wanted to give her a hug? Just shake her hand. Yeah, go ahead.
Un abrazo. Un abrazo.
Oh.
How cute.
Oh, I got one. Thank you. I want to invite the supervisor and the first partner for a special squirrel presentation. Where are the squirrels? Oh, there they come.
So I'm very proud and happy to have the first partner here with us this day to help us inaugurate this Los Angeles County Child Development Center that we have been waiting a lifetime for. So please receive this with open arms and care. And we are just so grateful to all that are here that are making this happen and those that are going to continue to prosper and thrive when they come here, both parents and children and visitors. So God bless you. We'd like to receive.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Is Lisa here? Come on, Lisa. Oh, we have one too. I actually have, this is for the Child Development Consortium of Los Angeles. So Lisa, this is you too. So you can get on this. Get on this. And we'll get everybody. Mark, do you want to join us too? We want all our partners here.
Hey, now. I just want to invite everyone over here to the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes. Oh, they're gonna be so it is. Thank you.
Okay with you? They go on the shuttle?
Oh, yes.